Welcome to qualifying here for the French Grand Prix. I'm JWF1 and now I'm here for the highlights of the French Grand Prix. A bit of a graphic error, but it is the French Grand Prix, so let's get into it. As you can see, Scott Speed is back at Toro Rosso for the remainder of the season. It was thought that the American would only be there for his home Grand Prix, but that seemed wrong. With 6 minutes to go, Anderson took second, 800ths off Joseph Willows. The new championship leader, Will Neller, took pole with 5 minutes to go, pumping his other two championship rivals down the position. Anderson, with 3 minutes to go, struggled to go faster and nearly gave up in trying to improve his position. With 1 minute to go, Anderson's teammate, Kellen Bryce, was going quick, but a mistake in the final sector cost him time, just missing out on pole by just 4 thousandths of a second, and just afterwards, Joseph Willows went to pole by just 400ths of a second. Anderson did better but could only manage 4th on the grid. So for the first time this season, Joseph Willows took pole position, making it back-to-back for McLaren, with Will Neller second, Bryce third, and former championship leader Joshua Anderson fourth. Now it's time for the race. Enjoy. So a reminder of the grid then. Joseph Willows is on pole, with Willie Neller alongside, and Anderson is in 4th. So here we go then. As you can see, it's wet here at the French Grand Prix. We've got 22 cars ready for a 70-lap race. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go here in Magny-Cours. And it seems to be a good start from the front too. Who's going to get into the lead into the first corner? Is it Willows or Neller? It's Willows who takes the lead. So Willows maintains the lead as it looks like a Renault is trying to get Will Neller for second. Will Neller keeps it. But Bryce now has better traction. And Bryce takes second off the Ferrari. And look at that. Boyman has passed Joshua Anderson at the start. So a bad start from Joshua Anderson and William Neller, while Joseph Willows is pulling away from the rest of the field as they already seem to be spreading out quite quickly as a Honda is holding up the rest of the pack. As Anderson down inside of Boyman, can he take 4th back off the McLaren? And he can. Boyman, Anderson up into 4th. Can Sontag take advantage? No, he can't. He has to tuck in behind. So Willows leads, Bryce 2nd, Neller 3rd, Anderson 4th, Boyman 5th, Sontag 6th, Willows in 7th, James Willows in 7th, I should say, and David Coulthard in 8th. Adam Wolf has lost his rear wing. We've got a yellow flag down there somewhere, and we can only see 19 cars. So where's the other 3? Who are the other 3, in fact? What on earth has happened? Here's a replay. It's from a helicopter cam from Scott Speed. So what on earth happened here then? So as you go, oh, he lost the back end and he caused the Constantino effect. Two Super Aguirres, both Midland, and Scott Speed as well. So 3 retirements. As you've got a replay of George Roke on the back of, well, about to pass James Willows, I think, as he got past him for 7th. He goes side by side with him down the straight, but Willows seems to have better traction at the corner, and Willows keeps 7th. Oh! Roke oversteers through that corner, so lucky he didn't spin. As now Roke is holding up 2 other cars of Mackenzie and Smith, as Smith dives down the inside of Mackenzie and takes 9th. So good job from Smith taking advantage of the hold up. And now Mackenzie's got to be careful. He wants to take 9th back off Smith. He's down the inside, but Smith shuts the door. Now he's got to worry about David Coulthard and Vitantoni Liuzzi behind. As now Jack Boyman behind Callum Bryce in 4th position. And he's getting ready to attack, and Sontag clearly wants to get in the fight, but it just seems to be dropping back a little bit. As look at this, a 3-car scrap for 7th between James Willows, George Roke and Connor Smith. There they go then, down into the hairpin. James defends, and oh, contact's been made. Contact's been made, the pair of them slipping and sliding, but luckily both of them don't spin, as Smith has now taken advantage of that, has moved up to 8th position. Again, another advantage there from Smith. Fantastic stuff from him, taking advantage of any incident that's happening. And he's got to be careful now, because his next target is James Willows, who's going for down the inside. Can he get past him cleanly? He's got a finger with the Willows brothers, and he has. Smith up into the 7th position as Joseph Willows has set the fastest lap of the race here on lap 6 of 70. Down into the right-hander as Mackenzie is now having a look at Roke, and contact's been made, and he goes full 360. And Roke slides, but he's lucky he doesn't make a mistake and spin. And Coulthard now moves up to 10th. Roke lucky he didn't lose a position there. So now Mackenzie has got to get past the 2 Red Bulls again if he wants to get into a points position. As now he's on the inside of David Coulthard. Well, it will be the inside when he gets into this corner side by side with Coulthard. And yes, he has. He's taken 10th off David Coulthard, so Mackenzie moves up into 10th position. His next target is George Rokers. Now Smith is looking to the inside of Felix Sontag. Can he get sick? But Sontag shuts the door on him. As now there's a 3-car scrap for 8th position between James Wells, George Roke and Jay Mackenzie. Mackenzie had a little look at Roke, but Roke keeping defensive through the right-hander. And now we're looking at a couple of scraps. And now Roke's down the inside of James Wells. Can he take the points off him? And he can. Roke up into 8th position, but can Willows getting back with the Honda engine? I don't think so, because Roke has stayed to the inside, and now Mackenzie has a little look, but he can't find a way past us. We've got a replay of Andrew Nella, who goes wide, and it looks like he's spun out. So clearly there's some standing water out on the track somewhere, so that's not good for Andrew Nella. Has he got a crash? We've got a crash. Where is that? That is Sin Cara and Waze Cuba who's got involved. Cara is out of the race. Cuba's lost his front wing, so he got to make a trip back to the pits. As we've got a replay, just seen that Cuba just understeered off and he just speared into the side of St. Cara, and nothing that he could do to avoid that, pushing Cara out the way. And Cuba rejoins, and he's got to come back into the pits to change the front wing. But that's Cara's day over, I'm afraid. He's lost his rear wheel, and Sin Cara is out of the French Grand Prix. As now, we actually got a replay now of Colin Smith having a look at Felix Sontag as he's taking 6th off the Williams. He's side by side with the Williams, and he has. Smith has moved up another position, and now he's in the fight for 4th with Anderson and Boyman. And now here we go, Smith having a look, Boyman had a look, and contact's been made between the pair of them. And Smith, lucky he didn't take him out this time. Smith's just got to be careful about his aggression a little bit, but luckily Smith did not take him out this time. As now as a result of that, the pair of them, both Anderson and Boyman, have started to pull a bit of a gap to Smith. But can Smith catch up? It looks like Mackenzie's gone wide and now falling into the clutches of David Coulthard. As Boyman just had a look there at Joshua Anderson, but Anderson shut the door. Now Smith is on the back of him, and he's going to look to the inside at the next corner. Can he take 5th up the McLaren? Side by side goes Smith with Boyman down the hill and down towards the 3rd to last corner. Side by side they go, but Boyman keeps 5th for now. So Boyman, good job in defending Connor Smith there here on lap 11. And now we're going to skip on to later on into the lap. In fact, so lap 11 clearly standing for the leader there as Boyman goes down to the inside of the hairpin. Can he get him? No. Anderson just seems to have better, more speed. Anderson's off. Anderson has spun and he hits the wall and he's out. Joshua Anderson is out of the French Grand Prix. He's lost the wheel, and that is just bitter luck. That's his 4th retirement. His championship must be slipping away at this point, because this is another retirement for Joshua Anderson. That lists Boyman up to 4th, Smith up to 5th, and Sontag up into 6th position. So everybody who was behind Anderson has now moved up a position, as we're looking at Josie Willows, who is leading by over 12 seconds. He is leading this race comfortably. I think he could go and win this race at the moment. Doing a fantastic job here at the moment in the wet conditions. But we've still got a long way to go, so anything could happen. We've got a replay of Colin Smith as he passed his teammate. He has for 3rd position. Ooh, I don't know if there's going to be team orders with that, as we've got a red flag. We've got a red flag. We have a red flag here on lap number 16. It's due to the wet weather conditions, and we're being told that the cars that retired in this race are allowed to take their spare car, so they will be able to take the restart, but we'll have to start at the back. So here we go then. We are here on the grid then. Everybody in the same positions as they were in the first race. So with everybody who's in the spare cars at the back. So yeah, so who's going to win in this second race? I'm being told now that it's now a 53-lap race as a result of the red flag, as we've just completed 16 laps. So we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go here for the second race. As you can see, again, a good start from the front two, but who's going to get the lead? Will it be Willows and Bryce? I think Bryce has got a better start than the McLaren. They're side by side going through turn 1 as Bryce taking the lead off the McLaren. And he has. Kellen Bryce takes the lead here in France. Willows has dropped to 2nd, and he's now falling into the clutches of the 2 Ferraris. Everybody seems to have got through the first couple of corners safely. And here's the backfield of Joshua Anderson and the rest of them, trying to fight their way back through the field. As now we're looking at Will now down the inside of Josie Willows, but Willows defends and keeps 2nd place for now. And Willows, well, this is not what he wanted. The wheel's gone off, and that's Sontag. Sontag has crashed. Sontag has crashed, and he's out of the French Grand Prix. And it looks like the 2 Red Bulls have got damage. One of them, David Coulthard's lost his front wing, George Roke's lost his rear wing, and I believe a wheel actually caught one of the cars. I don't know which car it was it caught, but it's a Smith dropped backwards. I think it might be Smith who's been hit, and it is. Smith has lost his front wing, so that's not good. Sorry, Roker's lost his front wing, and Coulthard's lost his front wing and rear wing. So here's a replay of what happened. So we're running a ball with George Roke on the back, and just came in a little too deep, clipped the back of David Coulthard, and Sontar was just a passenger, and then the wheel collided at the front wing of Connor Smith. So calamity already on the first lap of the restart as we're around the ball with Joshua Anderson, who is in 15th, so he's taking advantage of this. As a replay of speed, he's gone off, he spun off at that corner, he's oversteered off, and he's so lucky he didn't hit the wall there. So Speed will be able to rejoin. As we're looking at his teammate now, he's currently in 6th position. A good job from him at the moment. That could be some much needed points for Toro Rosso. As Nella down the inside of Willows, and he's taking 2nd place. As I just noticed earlier, some parts of the track are starting to get dry, so could we see the track getting dry very soon? As Mackenzie just had a look at Boyman there, but just couldn't find the way past. So Nella up into 2nd position. That is useful for his championship, but not good for Anderson or Willows at the moment. As we're riding on board with Anderson now, so it looks like he's passed 2 cars already. And riding on board with Tonio Liuzzi, and he's done the set off, and he spins. Oh, what a shame for Antonio Liuzzi in the points, but is now understeered from 6th position. He's going to have to do all that hard work again. What a shame for the Toro Rosso driver. And Wolf's crash, I think I saw him in the background actually of from Liuzzi's shot, and Wolf is out of the race. I don't know how that happened. Liuzzi's able to rejoin, but let's see what happens. So Wolf oversteer again, clearly caught some standing water, but just couldn't avoid the barrier. What a shame for Adam Wolf. He finished in the top 10 in the last race, but now he's out of the race as Boyman is down the inside of his teammate. He's up into 3rd position, and it looks like Mackenzie's now taking 4th. So Willows has lost 2 positions in that corner. What is going on? It's clearly giving Nella a helping hand. He's probably smiling in the cockpit from the news that Joseph's dropped down to 5th, as Bryce has set the fastest lap. Now Nella set the fastest lap, and I'm wondering if Nella is actually catching up to race leader Bryce at the moment, as Anderson's having a look at Cuba for 11th position, but just can't quite get the move done. And so at the moment then, it's clearly a crazy race. We've got a yellow flag. It's Joseph Willows. Willows has lost it. Joseph Willows has lost it at that same corner everyone's been struggling with. He's so lucky he didn't hit the wall, or did he push it? I'm not so sure, but he's got all 4 wheels still on his wagon, so he should be able to rejoin safely and soundly. But he's going to have to rejoin at the back. So let's have a look then. It was oversteer again at that standing water, so just like Wolf. But unlike Wolf, he just avoided the wall, so he's able to live another day. And Willows has rejoined in 19th, and look at that dry line at the moment. I think people will start to pick for dry tyres, and now his teammate's gone off. Jack Boyman has now gone off at that same point, and now Jay Mackenzie moves up into 3rd position. Boyman dropping down to 4th, and he might fall into the clutches of Mackenzie's teammate, Paige Knight, at the moment, as we're looking at Boyman, and he just understeered off. So unlike Joseph Willows, he understeers out of that corner, and there was nothing that Boyman could do. As we're right on board with Joshua Anderson, and down the straight now in the slipstream of Waze Cuba having to defend. This is going to be frustrating for Joshua Anderson. He's been held up by Cuba for a long time. There's Nella looking to the outside of Paige Knight, and so close to chopping his front wing there, but luckily he didn't. And now Nella's attacking Bryce. Nella is attacking Bryce for the lead of the Grand Prix. He's down the straight, but Bryce able to defend. So it looks like we've now got a battle for the lead here between Bryce and Nella, and this is going to get interesting. We've got a helicopter cam of the top 2. Nella just didn't have a chance down at the straight, so he didn't have a look at the race either there. So he's going to have to think hard if he wants to win this race. He could try and take 3 wins in a row here, but that's if he passes Bryce. As he had another look down at the right hander, but again, Bryce with the extra traction stays in front. Ryan and Boyle with Will Nella. That is the lead in front of him, and that could be a good opportunity. We're looking at his brother now in a replay of his brother, Andrew Nella, down the inside of Paige Knight. Has he got the Toyota for 5th position? He goes side by side down through this corner, but Knight defends 5th position at the moment. As it's now time for the pit stop as the top 2 coming to the pits. Bryce and Nella coming to the pits on lap 17 of 53, and Nella pits, and what's this going to be? Both of them, and it's a very nice helmet cam that we've got from Will Nella there. Can Nella get out in front of Bryce? Bryce has finished his stop at about 5 seconds. Mackenzie's now into the pits. and Bryce has stayed out in front, so Nella did not get the jump on him in the pit stops, as it looks like a lot of cars are going to start to pit. Joshua Anderson now pits from 8th position. He hopes that this is the best opportunity to leapfrog Waste Cuba, and I believe that's Takuma Sato who's in the pits. And again, Anderson's got the helmet can as well, so very interesting indeed. Marta's in the pits as well. Cuba in the pits. I think I saw Roke in the pits. Liuzzi's in the pits. James Willis has decided to stay out. And we're looking at Nella now, who's in 7th position. A lap later, Frank Montagni's now coming to the pit. He's rejoined the race. And where's he going to rejoin? I think he's going to rejoin in 10th position. Where's Anderson? He's behind him. Anderson is behind the Super Aguri. So that's not what he wanted. Where did the Super Aguri come from? Montagny is holding up Joshua Anderson. Can Anderson get him down straight? No, he couldn't, because he skipped to the right-hander. Anderson side by side. Surely he should get him now. Side by side with the Super Aguri. Side by side. Has he got him? No! Montagny defends Anderson. So Montagny doing a super job in defending the Renault. Anderson's got to be frustrated. This is surely an easy car to pass, and Anderson is finding it difficult at the moment. I don't know what's going on with Anderson so far, as we're looking at the top two who are negotiating traffic of Smith and Adam Wolf at the moment. Nalla has caught up to behind him. Ooh! Connor Smith, be careful. That is your teammate. You could have sideswiped him then. Both of them getting through Wolf safely and soundly, but that has brought Nella closer to Bryce. We have got a battle for the lead here, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like it's going to be a battle to the end of the race if Nella can't find a way past Bryce at all. They've got one more bit of traffic to negotiate. I do believe that it's got speed, as Connor Smith has crashed. Connor Smith has crashed from 19th here on lap 22. Connor Smith is out of the race. What a shame. He had a good first race, but now it's come back to bite him, and now they've got a replay. It just seen that Scott Speed dive bombed Connor Smith, so it must have been the Liuzzi that they were going to negotiate the top two. But Speed essentially giving Smith a taste of his own medicine, because Smith has been the one who's been dive bombing this season or taking people out. So Speed pretty much giving Smith a taste of his own medicine. And as everyone's trying to go around the Ferrari, no problems whatsoever as the marshals clear the Ferrari. And Anderson's still stuck behind Frank Montagny, as we've got a very nice camera here down the straight. And now we're looking at, well, we were looking at a Red Bull, and here's Joshua Anderson being lapped by the top two. So for the third time this season, Anderson is, sorry, is it the third or fourth time? Yeah, third time actually. Third time, Joshua Anderson is being lapped by the top two. This is annoying for Joshua Anderson, and this is not good. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether Bryce, as Nella had a look at Bryce there, I don't know whether whether Anderson and Bryce have switched cars or something, but clearly there's something in that Renault that's not suiting Joshua Anderson, and they need to get it sorted if Anderson wants to win this championship. As Nella had a look at Bryce there again, down the street, can Nella get him? Bryce having to defend, he feels like he needs to defend, and rightly so, he keeps lead again. A lap later, Nella has a look at Bryce once again. Can he have a look this time? Can Nella take the lead? But again, Bryce defends the inside, and Bryce keeps the lead, as Mackenzie might get into this fight as well. He's being held up by the traffic of Anderson. Well, he's passed Anderson, but he's being held up by Montagny. Could that do Anderson a bit of a favour? As Nella now on the back of it. Can he get him this time? No, again. Bryce defends the lead as they negotiate David Coulthard. As now it's time for the second round of stop. Both the top two are coming into the pits. Bryce and Nella in the pits. Who's going to get out in front? It is finally time for Nella to finally jump Kellen Bryce for the lead, as now it looks like Mackenzie's now into the pits as well. Montagny has stayed out, and I do suppose that Joshua Anderson has also stayed out as well, because his teammate is obviously in the pits, as Bryce has stayed out in front of Nella. So Nella has not got the jump on Kellen Bryce, as Montagny a lap later comes into the pits.
No pressure.
And Anderson is in the pits as well. So can Anderson's finished his stop, can he finally leapfrog Frank Montagny? Is ahead of Cuba, and he has at last. Anderson jumps Montagny for 10th position, as we've got a yellow flag, and it's Yuri Marta. Yuri Marta has crashed from 8th position. Yuri Marta at the same corner that everyone's been having trouble at. Yuri Marta is out of the French Grand Prix, and Joshua Anderson moves up another position. We've got a replay, and it just seemed that Marta just understeered off into that corner, and there was nothing he could do to avoid the rule. as Takuma Sato has finished his pit stop now. Anderson moves up into 9th. His next target is Azul Safi for 8th position. So Sato looks like he's going to be in a good position. Both Super Aguris, in fact, doing a super job as Anderson goes down the inside of Zafri. Can he take 8th off the BMW Sauber? And he can. Anderson moves up into 8th position. And his next target is James Wills, but before that he's got to negotiate traffic, which is David Coulthard. And George Roke understeers off and he spins. George Roke spins from 12th. And that's just bitter luck. He was on a comeback, but clearly he spun off as we're looking at Jay McKenzie. Look how fast he's going through that corner, taking it so easily. McKenzie currently in a podium position. I don't think the win is in his grasp this time, but surely he can win a race in the future as Bryce is understeered off. Bryce is understeered. Is it Nella's best chance to take the lead? Surely now's the time. But Bryce defends. Can he get him down into the hairpin? Can Nella get the lead? But again, Bryce keeps the lead. So he's so lucky that the understeer did not cost him, as Anderson is catching up to James Willows for 7th position. And pretty soon I think Anderson may get past him. And now Nella on the slitching of Bryce again. Bryce again having to defend. And Bryce keeps the lead. But now side by side. Can Nella finally take the lead off the Renault? Side by side. What a battle for the lead these two have had. Side by side. But again, Bryce keeps the lead for now. This is going to be pressure from both the Renault and Ferrari camp at the moment. Ferrari have made significant gains in the previous 2 races. And now, as we look at Anderson, who's side by side with James Willows for 7th position, side by side. Can Anderson take 7th? And side by side, and he can. Anderson moves up into 7th position. So another position gain, so reducing a little bit of the damage of Nella, increasing his lead in the championship. And now Nella side by side with Bryce. Again, that's all depending if Nella can get past Bryce though. And Nella side by side with Bryce. Side by side. Can he finally take the lead? But no, again. Bryce keeps the lead for now. I think this battle's going to go down to the final lap. This is such an intense fight for the lead here. Bryce doing his teammate an absolute favour in defending Nella. He's just got to keep doing that what am I going to say? Is Nella has a look down inside of Bryce, but again Bryce defends the lead. And Mackenzie could get into this fight actually, as we've got a helmet cam from Joshua Anderson. But again, like I said, Bryce doing a huge favour. He's just got to keep the lead to make sure that it reduces the amount of damage it does to Nella, increases his lead in the championship. And contact between Speed, I think, yes that is Speed, and Kara. They've made contact, so that's one interesting way of getting past. I wouldn't be surprised if Speed gets into trouble for that, as side by side go Nella and Bryce for the lead of the race. Can Nella finally take him? But this time, Bryce gets ahead of him before they even reach the 3rd to last corner. So clearly, Nella has lost some time somewhere. So as we've got 5 laps to go here, who's going to win the race? Will it be Bryce or Nella? Leave it down in the comment section if you want before the race finishes. But Bryce and Nella down the straight now. Can Nella finally take the lead off the Renault? Down the straight. This is going to be frustrating. There's the win in front of him. Can Nella make it 3 wins in a row? Or can Bryce take his 2nd win as Zafri goes off? Zafri goes off and drops a position that leaves Takuma Sato up into 9th position. What a great race Takuma Sato's having so far. 1 place off the points. I don't think he can manage it in this race, but this will be some much needed positions for Super Aguri. They're in a battle with Toro Rosso in the Constructors' Championship, and that will lift them up to 10th if Sato finishes 9th today. And as you can see now, Bryce has pulled a bit of a gap on Nella, and he's going to pull probably a bit more of a gap, as Sin Cara seems to be holding up Nella, but at last Nella gets past. But look at that gap now. Bryce has pulled a bit of a gap. Nella's going to have to work a little bit harder to catch the gap up, and he has done a lap later. In fact, that was quick. Side by side with Bryce. Can Nella finally take the lead? But just look at the extra speed the Renault engine's carrying over the Ferrari engine. And Bryce stays in front of William Nella at the moment. So Bryce keeps the lead. He's just got to do this for when he crosses the line. He's just got to keep him back for 2 more laps, and he will win his 2nd Grand Prix. As again, Bryce feels the need to defend Nella, and Nella just can't seem to find a way past. As down the right-hander, and look at that. Nella wasn't even close to Bryce on this lap. So Nella has clearly lost some time somewhere which has enabled Bryce to pull a bit of a gap. So that is giving him a bit of breathing space at the moment. They've got one more lap to go. One more lap, Bryce, and you'll take your second Grand Prix. They're going to cross the line to start the final lap. They may have to negotiate a bit of traffic in front as Bryce sets the fastest lap as well. So they might have to negotiate a little bit of traffic in front of Scott Speed. Skipping on later into the lap. Can Nella take the lead? This is their last lap gasp. A battle for the lead. Who's going to win this race? Will it be Callum Bryce or Will Nella? It depends, really. It's Renault versus Ferrari. It's Brit versus Brit. It's Callum Bryce versus Will Nella. I nearly struggled with my words there. But here we go then. Nella taking it. No, sorry. Bryce taking it in the line. In fact, both of them taking it in the line. And Nella just couldn't find a way past. I think Bryce is going to do this, actually. I think Bryce has done enough. But you never know, there is a bit of traffic, but I don't think it's going to affect him. So, round the final corner then. And after 2 races and a very exciting French Grand Prix, Callum Bryce wins the French Grand Prix. Will Nella comes close behind in second, but increases his lead in the championship. As you can see there, Nella leads the championship by 3 points in front of Joshua Anderson. And Callum Bryce moves up to 3rd thanks to his win. Joseph Wells moves up to 4th, as I believe he's finished 14th on the road. So that is disappointing from Joseph Willows. Anderson will cross the line in 7th position. In the Constructors' Championship, Renault increased their lead by 18 points in front of Ferrari. McLaren are 9 behind Ferrari. Honda are 4th. And Toyota are closing to Williams. So a reminder then, Bryce wins the race with Nella 2nd. Jay McKenzie finished in 3rd. Anderson was 7th on the road. And Joseph Willows could only manage 14th. What a disappointing result for him indeed. So, yeah, guys, sorry about the loud moment there of my microphone. So, yeah, that is it for the French Grand Prix. So, thank you very much for watching. I've been JWF1, and we will see you for the German Grand Prix. Until then, take care. Take care. Take care.